All right, here we have a classic. It's Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum. And key to this song is all about the tone. For real, it's like you just want to dump that fuzz all over this. Get almost like that muffled tone to it. Okay, so you want something that's in this ballpark, just like, okay, just real muffled, real fuzzy. All right, and a pretty basic riff here, like a blues riff, and some cool techniques we can do with some bending. But we'll just jump into this main riff, the one you recognize the most from it here, and it's going to kick off where we just hit a second on the G, and then quickly just hit an open A. Okay, and then we go right back to those seconds on the G. We hit those 4 times, and just kind of like a choppy staccato manner, just okay. And now we do this little bit where we do a hammer on with the open A to a 5, and then open A to 3. Okay, and then we just kind of start it over again. And now once we get to the end of it, we do those hammer-ons, but we do them kind of inverted. We do open to 3, and then open to 5. Okay, and then we just repeat this whole thing about 4 times. Okay, now this really fun bend, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do this. The first, and I think my favorite, is if you have a kill switch on your guitar, which you can either do this by, installing just a straight up kill switch, or if you have a guitar where you can change the volume of each pickup, then you can just use your toggle switch to go back and forth. That's kind of like the more like Tom Morello style, I guess, but for this guitar here, I actually have a straight up kill switch. Okay. And so for this method, we're going to do this bend that happens. And it's 12 on the G and 10 on the B. And we're going to want to have the 12 pre-bent. Okay, and then we're going to hit it. And then we're just going to slowly release it. Okay, just something like that. Okay, and now the trick is, while we're just slowly releasing that, we just kind of tap the kill switch. Okay, just about like that. Okay, to get that vibe going. Okay, so that's the first method to do it. If you don't have a kill switch, you could do it like this. If you're on it with your picking, what you do is you just do this kind of stop picking deal where you hit it once, and then you just get your fingers right back on the B and G strings. Okay, like this. So you're just kind of hitting it, and you're putting your fingers back on to cut it, and then just repeating that. Okay, and you just try to get that up to tempo. Something like that. All right. And the third way to do it is if you have a tremolo effect, and you can just dial it in to where it just clips it really hard, so that it's just like more of a square wave going on, and you just get the rate on it just right. Then you can just do something like this. Okay, just by using like a tremolo pedal, kind of the same deal. So hopefully one of those 3 methods will work for you there. And now, once we get into this first verse and chorus, it's something kind of funky that happens here. We go through this just normally, as you can see here. Like we start with just a chord, And it's more just worrying about like a 5, like a power chord version of it, because it's just real bass heavy and you're not hearing a full chord getting strummed. But if you want to just strum a full A chord, go ahead. It depends on you. If you want to try to emulate the song, then I would just worry about like trying to do a power chord. So we just kind of hit a power chord, and you can just kind of be like offbeat with it. Something like that. Okay, and we do about 3 measures worth of the A. Alright, and now we go to a D chord. And same deal with that. I'm just going to do like an open D, 2 on the G, 3 on the B here. 2 measures. Alright, and now we go back to the A just for 1 measure. And now we go to an E. And then the tricky thing that happens with this is the first verse and first chorus, we do a full measure of E, and then we do 2 counts of the E into the next measure. And then at the 3rd count of the last measure, we go back to the A for a couple counts. Alright, and this is something that it happens with any other verse going forward, but future choruses, they change it up a little bit, which is really odd to me. I don't know if they like goofed or they had this in mind, but it's just kind of a funky thing that happens. Alright, and now we get to a new little bend riff, and it's kind of the same deal, but we're just playing it higher in a different spot. We're going to come up to the 12 on the E and 15 on the B. And just do it like that. Okay. Alright, and like I said, you can do it one of the 3 ways. I'll just use the kill switch method here. Alright, and just to show you again, the next verse that comes along, it's played just like that first verse was, where we give the last measure is 2 counts of the E and then 2 counts into an A. Okay, but now that funny thing happens with, the 2nd chorus and the 3rd chorus. The last measure is just all A. So that E that we get to, we just do it for 1 measure. We don't put in those extra 2 counts. We just go right to an A. So it kind of just switches it slightly, which is kind of strange. So, it would just be more like... Okay, now we get this little bit of a solo coming in. Kind of a fun thing. We just do a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs, such like that. And it's just kind of sticking around right here in this open to 2, open to 1 area here on the B and G. So we'll just start it where it's hammering on from the open G to 2, and then back to the open G. Alright, and then we do an open to 2 hammer on again. Hold that 2 for a bit. Okay. Alright. And then kind of similarly, we do open to 2 to open, but then we focus more on just holding a open last. Okay. And then we do that first measure again, open to 2 open, open to 2. Alright, and now we add a open to 1 on the B. Okay, so just try that all together now, that first half. Alright, and then the second half of it starts the same way for the first 3 measures. And then it just kind of ends with this. We start on the 1 of the B, open, 1 back on the B, and then come to the 3. Okay. Okay, then we repeat a few of the verses, choruses, all that. We get to the end, and there's this kind of new outro solo thing that happens. And it kicks off with this new bend where we're going to be at the 10 on the G, 8 on the B. And not so much like kill switch or anything like this, we're just kind of bending it. But we bend it, the 10 on the G, we bend that about 5 times. And something like this. So it's almost like we bend it and then we hit the 8 again. Okay. You hear what I'm going for now? And we repeat that whole thing 4 times. Okay, so forth. Alright, now we just carry on with this outro solo where we're just kind of, noodling around here in like a pentatonic. We're going to focus kind of in this area where we're on like the 8 of the 10 on the B and kind of that little shape of it. So we're doing, okay, so we'll hit like a 10 bend on the G and then hit some 10s on the B right under it. Okay, a couple more and then go to an 8 on the B. Okay, 8 to 10 on the B, then to 8 on the E. Back to a couple 10s on the B. 10 on the B, 8E, 10E, back to 8E. Back to 10B. Bend to 8 on the E. Hit a couple 10s on the B. Something like this so far. Okay, then we come up to 15 on the B, bend it, hit a 15E, and release the 15 on the B. Okay. Then to 13B, and then 12G, hammer that 12 on the 14. Okay. Hit 13B, and then we do bend 15, hit it, and release it. Back to 13B, and to 15B. Okay, then we do a hammer on 13 to 15. A couple 13s, and then a hammer on to 15 again. Back to 13. Okay, so just a lot of back and forth right there. Okay, and then we finish it by doing a 13B to 15 hammer on, back to 13. 14G, and then bend to 13B. Alright, and as it starts fading out there, we come all the way up here to a 17B, bend it, hit a 17E, and release the 17B. Okay, then a 15B, 14G. Okay, and you can, if you know your A minor pentatonic, you can just boogie around in that, and you'd be set. You don't have, if you want to take a little bits of this and apply them, that's cool, little parts you like, but, if you just wanted to, like, rip out in a A minor pentatonic, just... whatever. Yeah, you could get away with that. I'm sure no one would care, and you'd be all set. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. you.